Do you feel guilty for throwing away food? Is it stopping you from losing weight? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to get over the guilt of throwing away food to help you on your weight loss journey. So hi, I'm Vanessa McLennan and I help people to lose weight by working on the psychological and emotional side of eating. So before we begin though, please click on the subscribe button, click on the bell and let's get started. There are so many emotions wrapped up in throwing food away. The trouble is, if it's not going in the bin, it's going in your mouth, and that means perhaps you're putting on weight. And yeah, you don't want that, so you know that you have to perhaps make this mind shift. But throwing food away could go against, everything society is standing for and everything that perhaps you stand for. What a waste just throwing food away. Well, now, if you want to lose weight, maybe this might be the thing that you need to get over. So here are some tips. I'm overeating it because I can't bear to throw it away. I can't bear to have it sit there, sat on my plate. This food that I haven't finished, that I can't finish, that I know I'm totally doing myself harm if I eat, but I just can't bear to chuck it in the bin. This bit, again, we have to sort of reframe how we think about it, because who is it doing it more harm? If we're going to eat this food, it's excess food, right? We can't do anything with it once it's cooked. We can't ship it to somewhere else. We can't give it to somebody else. Well, we could if they really wanted it. Maybe that's an answer. Give it to somebody else around the table who wants it. But you've got to then look at the excess that it's doing you harm. Our body has to work then perhaps, a lot harder to get rid of this extra food. It's putting on weight, and is it putting on toxins? Whereas actually, is it doing any harm in the bin? No, it's not. The bin is where it's supposed to be. Look at the shape of the trash can. It's big and it's round for a reason, because it can hold most, substance. We are not built like that. So therefore, the bin is the place who deserves it. But the food is too nice to throw away. Oh, the food is too good. It tastes too good. I just can't possibly waste that delicacy by throwing it away. Well, we have to sort of get over there is always going to be more of that food available. We can always go out at a later date and get more of that food. We can perhaps, if it's after the flavour, that we're missing out on that really nice taste, is there another food that you can get that flavour from? Or again, instead of having it right now, can you just put it back a few days, get another one, or no, let that one go. So this makes me think then, what is it you're really, really chasing? Because if you're chasing, the really nice taste, is it pleasure? Is it joy that it's giving you? Is that what it is that you're really seeking? I don't know. But if you're seeking something else, does it mean that you're not giving it to yourself internally? And that's what you need to do is, if it's too good, too nice for you to chuck away, there's going to be lots more of it, okay? But if you want to need to be able to chuck it away, think about how you can get that really nice feeling of what it is that you're chasing internally. So if it's pleasure, if it's joy, how can you, and what else can you seek in your life that's going to give you that? You eating food is not taking it away from somewhere else. So what happens is, we know that food is grown, all around the world, depending on, their climate and what food suits what climate best. And then large companies buy it, and then supermarkets buy it, and so hence we're the ones then who go into our supermarkets and buy just what we need. So if supermarkets, don't sell that food, they unfortunately chuck it away. Now there are some fantastic projects and initiatives going on that are helping, the supermarkets become accountable for throwing all this food away and helping to reduce that waste, which is absolutely fantastic. But we're concerned also with the food that we're buying. Is that going to take it away from someone else? Will somebody go without because I'm having that food? Well, what we need to do is just perhaps buy the food that you need. Just plan your meals ahead so that you are buying only what it is that you're going to eat for that week. If you are worried then about people going without, look at what charities that you can give to. I know there's one called Action for Hunger, or local food banks that you can support and you can give to, so that other people have got and you're giving as well. You feel guilty. So most of us have been taught, and especially if we're brought up perhaps in the 80s, earlier generations, that there are so many starving people in the world that we are so selfish, you know, greedy, if we are then having all of this food and not eating everything on our plate. A lot of the older generation as well, you know, if you've come from perhaps parents that were in the war, or you yourself, you know, were brought up like late war times, you had to lick and clean everything off your plate because there wasn't that much food. So, you know, how ungrateful are you if you don't eat everything off your plate? You feeling guilty is also not going to affect anybody else or how much anybody else has except yourself. So if you are feeling guilty, the question then I would ask is, what is it you're really feeling guilty about? Because, you know, on a logical level, you eating the difference between another mouthful or 2 mouthfuls and not eating those is not going to make any difference to your guilt. So what is it you're really, really feeling guilty about? I don't want to waste money. Well, this is, I think, quite a biggie as well, because yeah, food does cost a lot of money, and it can be really, really irritating, especially if, you know, money is tight, times are tight, especially like now, we're living in times like this. Yeah, it's very frustrating to, you know, not use that food when that's cost you money out of your pocket. But what we have to do is, again, think about how much money do we then spend on things like diet plans, slimming clubs, diet pills if we take them, anything else to do with, you know, slimming. How much does that actually cost you? And so then think about, what would you rather, you know, would you rather then spend a couple of pounds extra on some food that, okay, you might then waste some of it, of what it is that you don't eat? Or would you rather then fork out lots more extra money on going to gyms or going to slimming clubs to work on and to work through all the amount of extra food that you've eaten because you couldn't bear to throw it away? So actually, you know, the cost and the comparison can be quite negligible, can't it? But by you throwing away those bits of leftover foods which you are not going to eat, actually could save you a lot more money in the longer run. So let me know, do any of those points resonate with you? Can you find it easy to chuck food away, you know, leftover foods away? So thank you very much.